One thing a lot of people get wrong about saving money is that they forget how connected it is to daily frugal living decisions. And in this video, I'm going to give you 8 frugal living hacks that will help you save money and connect your frugal living journey and your money saving journey. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at Frugal Over 50 I give you tips and tools for frugal living. Bienvenido a mis amigas de habla hispana. El día de hoy vamos a hablar de cómo ahorrar dinero en la vida frugal. Let's talk about it. Number 1, pay your future self first. This means planning to save money right from the outset, right from the get-go. So the first thing that comes out of your paycheck is your savings. Now this could be automated. If you work at a place where you have a pension or an employer match for a retirement contribution, it happens before you even see your paycheck, and that is wonderful. If you have a way to do that through your job, definitely automate it. And on top of that, think about ways that you can pay your future self first. And it could be something very small. For instance, I get a certain amount of money every month from YouTube ad revenue. I take a small percentage of that to put towards retirement. Right now, it's just a few $100s. Who knows, it may be hundreds of thousands someday, but it's a little tiny bit that's helping to pay my future self. And it feels wonderful. It gets me in the mindset of saving money, and it gets me in the mindset of thinking for the future. So pay your future self first. Number 2, have an emergency fund. A lot of us have had a lot of talks about emergency funds over the last several months because of all of the changes that have happened in the world, and a lot of us have talked about having to use and then rebuild our emergency funds. And in fact, I have a video on that. I'll link it above and in the description box below. Make sure to watch the video and also read the comments and contribute your own here and there. What are your thoughts on your emergency fund? What is its status right now? If you're like a lot of us, you have discovered that you had to use that emergency fund and you're in the process of building it up again. How are you doing that? Always be thinking that the emergency fund is there to use, and it's not wrong to have an emergency and use it up. Then you just go about the process of building it up again. And you can do it. I can do it. We can do it. Let's have an emergency fund. Number 3, use it up. Something came into your head when I said use it up, and you probably went, oh, right? We all have that thing that we threw away knowing that there was a little bit left in the bottom. It's usually bottles and tubes of things that we consume, whether it's like lotion or ketchup. These are the kinds of things that we tend to think of. Use it up can also mean something larger, like this is a strange time in the car market around the world. And you may be thinking, do I buy a new car or a used car, or can I still get more use out of my current car? It's worth looking at even larger items like that and saying, is there more use that I can get out of this before it becomes all used up or even unsafe to have? But especially if it's something small like that ketchup bottle, you can do like my dad used to do and add a little bit of water and swirl it around. It'll still be fine. And that way you can use up whatever it is that you have. Some people have talked about taking a hacksaw to their lotion bottles and discovering like a full inch of product that they couldn't squeeze out, but that lasted them like another month. So it's a real frugal win. It saves you money, and it can make you feel very empowered. So go for it, use it up. Number 4, this is a big one. Consider your housing options, your housing choices, your housing decisions. This is not something like adding water to the bottom of a ketchup bottle so you've got a few more squirts of ketchup. This is a big decision. It's not something that you should make necessarily every year or every few months. But I bet right now, if you are listening to me say this and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is a good time for you to consider your housing options. Are you in a housing situation that is really working for you? Is it something that works for now but isn't great long term, and you need to be planning for something that will work better for your budget, for your lifestyle, for your housing needs? The housing situation around the world, kind of like the rest of the world's economy, is a bit in flux right now. And that can mean that it's a good time to hold on to what you got. But it can also mean that it's a good time to consider all available options. What's that one housing decision that you would have liked to have made 10 years ago? Is now the time? Where would you like to be in 10 years, and how is your current housing helping you to achieve that goal? It's tough to ask these big questions because our house is not just our home, it's part of our identity. And I know that I'm asking you to do a lot here, but I am asking you to do it. Consider, is your housing taking more from you than it gives? And what can you do to change it? The answers will vary. Every single person who's watching this video will have a slightly different answer to these questions of housing. But ask them of yourself and find the answers within yourself and in your part of the world that work best for you. Have courage, my friends. You can do this. Consider your housing. If you're getting value out of this video, would you give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already? Every time you give this video a like and you keep your subscription active, we give YouTube a greater chance to help us find new frugal friends. Thank you so much. Number 5, as a daily habit, don't shop for entertainment. For those of us who are women over 50, this is gonna be a tricky one because we grew up going to the mall, didn't we? Most of us have mall stories, and if you've been watching Stranger Things recently, if you look at the mall segments, they really got it exactly right. Crowds of people going for entertainment. And so we have that in our history. That I'm saying, as a regular thing, don't shop for entertainment. I'm not saying don't ever shop for entertainment. Like whenever I go to a new city, I love to go visit grocery stores there. It's just fun. It is entertainment. And I might buy a thing or two at the grocery store. But don't get bored and think, what should I do? Oh, I'll go shopping. Find some other ways to entertain yourself. It's summertime. There's probably community theater that you could join or watch. There's probably a community chorus or orchestra somewhere that you could join. There's probably a children's group that you could participate in leading. There's something that you can do with your time for entertainment other than shopping. I promise, even those of us who were 80s mall rats, we can do it. Number 6. Use a rewards credit card. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all go out and put all of our purchases on credit cards and then just sort of hope for the best for the future. We are in a time in history, if you're watching this when this is released, when a lot of people are using credit cards in various ways to help with microloans that they need, and then they will pay them back over time. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about finding a credit card that offers rewards points that work for you. It could be travel rewards, it could be gas rewards, it could be grocery rewards, it could be cash back rewards. Use your credit card almost as if it were a debit card, so that you go and you do your regular purchases using that credit card, and then a couple days later or every other week or so you go and pay off the full balance of the credit card, so that you don't ever accumulate interest, but you get the full benefit of the rewards. It's an absolutely genius way to use the benefits of a credit card, which include things like fraud protection and some extra identity protection in a lot of cases, and also these rewards that could come in a variety of forms. And especially if you get one that has good rewards and no annual fee, you can be in great shape. Again, I'm not talking about really using it for a micro loan or for an emergency fund because you ran out of your emergency fund. This is more of a planned long-term strategy. What's your favorite way to use a rewards credit card? Number 7 sort of refers back to a video I did recently on 10 life-changing frugal living habits. And in that video, I talked to you about the difference between gambling and investing your money for the long term. And the tip here is just straight up, don't gamble. The reason I say this is because there's always that hope, isn't there? This time, the lottery will give me some money back. This time, the slot machine will work. This time, the roulette wheel will actually work for me. This time, I'll win that poker game. And I'm telling you, there's no this time. It's not going to happen. You're better off sticking your money in a sock and sticking it under your mattress. I promise you. It's not glamorous. It's not fun. Nobody's making movies about that. But it is so much better. If you have an issue with gambling, with playing the lottery, with hoping in that way, then I really feel for you. And I don't mean this to judge you in any way, not at all. I know that a lot of people play the lottery and gamble because it's fun, it's entertaining, and they budget for it. And I mean, I still don't want you to do it, but I understand that. Also, I know that there are people who play out of desperation. They're really hoping, like, this is the only thing that I can think of to do. And I understand that desperation, and I feel you. And I'm asking you to reach out instead for the help that is actually there. There really is help beyond gambling and beyond playing the lottery. Reach out for credit counseling if that would be useful to you. Reach out to community food banks and clothing centers and job training services. It may seem like the world is full of a patchwork quilt of things and you have to do so much work just to get help. Wouldn't it be easier just to gamble? Wouldn't it be easier just to hope and play that lottery and just wish it would happen? Because it's right there next to the soda and the cigarettes. But I'm saying to you, as hard as it is, and as much as we, as planet Earth, could do such a better job of providing resources for all of the world's citizens, there is help for you. And reaching out for it could be as simple as going down in the comments and saying, I need help with this. What ideas do you folks have? And we are an encouraging community. Or it may be that you want to come down in the comments and tell a story about how you needed help and here's how you got it. How did you get the help that you needed to get out of the situation that you were in and to get into a better place? Where can we share not just our joys in frugal living, but our trials and our struggles? So when I say don't gamble, I mean reach out to where help really is. Number 8, review your job situation. Depending on where you are in the world right now, this may or may not be a great time to jump ship at your job and go look for another one. But it is certainly a good time to review your resume, look at your skill set, look at jobs that are available in the kind of work that you want to do, and identify how you could meet the needs of those jobs, those employers. I recently read a comment just on a Reddit thread about jobs where somebody said, the only time you shouldn't be out looking for a job is if you're retired or dead. And I thought, you know what? That is a great attitude. Those of us who are over 50 were not brought up to think like that. We were brought up to think that probably our employers weren't going to be very loyal to us, but we should probably still be kind of loyal to them, maybe with one eye out the door. If you're older, if you're in the baby boom generation, you folks were taught to be very loyal to your employers. And if you're much younger, you probably are like, yeah, of course you should always be looking for a job. For those of us who are new to that way of thinking, it's a great idea to look at your skill set, look at the things that you would like to do, and look at available jobs in your field, in your area, in the parts of the world where you might like to go and live and work, and see if there's anything that you can apply for that would meet your needs better. If nothing else, it will give you a point of reference and a point of comparison so that if you decide to stay with the job that you have, or you discover that it is the best one for you, then you will at least know because you've looked at the available options. I would love to hear from you if you are currently looking for a job actively, or if you have recently found one. What has been your experience? Let's talk about it. If you'd like to get in on a little bit more Frugal Over 50 excitement, I have just started a Patreon. Go down in the description below, click the link and join. We've got a lot of excitement coming up over there starting this fall. You can save money, even this day and age, even with the world the way it is, even with whatever is happening. You can live frugally, and that can help you save for a better future. So whatever your plan is, keep living frugally, keep changing your life, and together, my friend, we can change the world. I'll see you again in the next video. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Bye!